Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha.
Few questions have come, so I must answer them first. First is taking up Soundarya Lahari for fulfilling your desires. That is also one aspect of Soundarya Lahari, needless to say. However, we should always know that when we approach the highest authority, we leave it to the discretion of that authority, and especially so when we designate that authority as our mother. What does that mean? It simply means mother knows what a child needs. What a child desires may be different. What child needs is different. And if we are saying mother, then we must give that to mother. What she should give us, whatever is important for us, whatever is needed for our development, whatever is required for our development in the direction which we have chosen to walk on. As far as desire fulfillment through any other means is concerned, we need to just look at our past. Let us just contemplate over it. Does fulfilling your desires means fulfillment in your life? And I can tell you, you all will say no, it is not. Even if you go back in your own life, lived so far, whatever desires you had, and you have actually fulfilled them, but have you gotten to that level of fulfillment which you expected that the fulfilling your desires would bring you to? That has not happened. So it simply means fulfilling our desires, whatever it be your means, be your means of material means, be your means of tantric means, be your means any other, it does not lead to fulfillment in life. What we are working for, let us be very clear. As a student or as a seeker of the truth, we are working for attaining that state where we are ultimately content, fulfilled to the brim, reach to that state where we feel there is nothing to be achieved, there is nothing left that should be achieved now, and then there's nothing else which needs to be done. There's nothing else which needs to be known. These are the three things we are aiming at. Or else our life agenda will not be complete. And our cyclic motion in this world continues. That does not mean that we cannot take up our immediate needs, that we cannot request mother for that. Giving total freedom to her, giving total right to her, while we urge to her, while we plead to her, while we request her that this is my desire, if this is what exactly I want in my life, but whether I need or not, you decide. But all your wants are not always good for you. That you should know. Only if you understand this fact, you would not be disappointed in any way. We always give you this understanding that if whatever you desire happens, very good. But if you desire something and that does not happen, it is the best. So you can take up any system for fulfilling your desires. But if you specially choose a spiritual system for fulfilling your desires, that is not worth. It's exactly that scenario where you purchase a Rolls Royce and use it for dumping your garbage. That is what we are doing. We are Supposedly, if we choose to utilize these only to fulfill our desires, it is not the best use of this modality. As far as Saundarya Lahari is concerned, it gives us lot many tools and methods to put our request in the best form, in the most, I would say, humble form to the cosmic forces, leaving that decision, leaving that discretion to the cosmic mother, whether that needs to be fulfilled or not. Or else you would be caught up in this game of cause and effect. Our life, whatever we are living today, is the sum total of all the causes which we have created and what we call karma. What is karma? Karma, we already know that whatever our ego owns, whatever action our ego owns up, that becomes our karma. Whatever you have gotten in your life so far, and suppose few things come to you without your desiring, without your demand, without your, aspiring for, you get it, let's say. Then what do you say? You say, it's a gift. I have not done anything for this, but I have it. That means it's a divine gift for the person who receives it. So while Saundarya Lahari gives us the best methods, most accurate method to place our request to the divine forces, to the cosmic mother, yet you should always understand that if it would be my need, it would be given. That is for sure. I'll tell you how it works. As a developing child or a developing youth, you don't know what is your strength and what is your weakness. So what do? You appear for a test. The test is in pedagogy. You know that a lot of tests happen. There you are given certain set of questions, you answer based on your attitude, based on your abilities. The experts tell you that this is the field in which you will excel, because we don't know what to do in our life, in which field I would excel. Then we need experts to tell us, which simply means we rely on experts. If we don't know, if it is not in the domain of our knowing, we believe the experts, we trust. So what is hidden from mother? What she does not know about us? Why would she not give you the best advice, opportunity, event, and thing based on our ability, based on our pathway which we have chosen to live in this life? So not every child can become a painter, not every child can become a musician, not every child can become a mathematician, not every child can be a good programmer, not every child can be a good politician. But someone can tell, expert can tell that this person would be really good in managing people, motivating people, leading people. And if you believe that, if you trust the expert and you follow that path, you would definitely excel better. You will excel in that field, whatever any expert has given you. So when we are talking to the ultimate expert, the one who has created this drama, she knows it all. What is good for me? It does not mean we will not place our request. We will. That is our right. And our Guruji used to say this, that maybe you don't deserve it, but you cry a lot, right? What mother does in that case? ठीक है, इस बच्चे को थोड़ा सा दे देते, That happens with ordinary mother. So even that is possible. If you cry a lot, nahi nahi mujhe chahiye, I need this. Maybe mother gives you an opportunity to burn your hands and learn. Mothers will also give you lessons at times. मुझे ये खाना है, आई वॉन्ट टू ईट दिस, आई वॉन्ट टू, उसको पता है कि इसमें मिर्ची है, इट्स चिली, वो मुझे खाना है. तो मदर विल से, अच्छा नहीं मानता ना, लो थोड़ा सा ले लो. एंड आफ्टर दैट व्हाट हैपेंस यू ऑल नो, द चाइल्ड विल रन टू द सेम मदर अगेन फॉर द रिलीफ. अब कुछ मीठा दो. दैट इज व्हाट वी शुड fully understand. While we are placing our request, we should always be cognizant of the fact that mother decides as per our ability, as per our acumen, as per our life path. She decides. That's the way of mother, I'm saying. Secondly, now as we move away from that cosmic, the divine potentiality, and we contact or you take help of lower entity, there the results are fixated and they depend on your own will and action. For example, you want to hit a person. Now think of this scenario that you pick up a stone, which is earth, and you throw it at that person's body. It will definitely hit that person. Why? Now you are not, as you are utilizing lower tattvas, the intelligence which was working there has diminished. And here, because the cosmic intelligence has diminished, your intelligence and your ownership is more important. So when we contact the divine forces at that level, we trust that intelligence. But as we move away, as we move down the ladder, we start using lower forces, then it becomes our responsibility. We will bear the effect of our action. When mother does it, we are free of the consequences. Why we are free of consequences? We have, one more example will clarify. Suppose you are sitting by a driver who is driving on a highway, and suppose he overspeeds and the policeman stops. Acha, tell me, who will be challenged for it? You will be challenged for it or the driver? Yeah. Driver, definitely driver. Now, that means you are not responsible. That means although you were sitting in a car which oversped, which crossed the speed limits, but you are not challenged. Why? Because somebody else was driving. Now apply the same rule. If you have given the full charge, 100% freedom to Mother Divine to lead your life, to drive the way she likes, will you own up any karma then? Will you be ever paid for your karma then? Will you ever be challenged for whatever way your life turns out to be? Even if it is, from looking from outside, from the worldly perspective, from the social perspective, whatever it is. Maybe you seem to be in a very tricky situation, maybe in a kind of a mess, but are you really responsible for it? No, you are not. Why? Because you have given 100% freedom to Mother. You have never demanded anything. You have never insisted on anything. You have always trusted the intuitive knowledge, intuitive wisdom. Whatever came to you, you accepted. Whatever came to you as your first choice, you took it. I can tell you, if you have lived your life like that, and you continue to, rather than going back and analyzing each and every action of yours, then first you will be guilt free. Second, you will be free from the brunt of the karma. Nothing like that comes to us. Rajiv is little bit
Acharya Ji,
perturbed. Yes,
yeah.
Rajiv.
So
Rajiv.
there are two things. One is, what about the statement we all grew up with, that God helps those who help themselves? Number one.
Hmm. Hmm.
And number two, what about the application of wisdom in our actions, and then
Hmm.
taking those actions? So just wanted to know that, are those actions also guided by the Mother Divine, right?
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you. This is a very pertinent question and very simple answer I'll give you. What actions we will be punished for or rewarded for, let's say, and what action becomes our karma which we will pay for. What decision is our decision? What decision is mother's decision? May not be, you may not agree with this, but let me give you simple rules which we have learned from our masters. The simple rule is, when you take a decision and the beneficiary is solely you or your people, what in whatever situation, in whatever way, you are accumulating the karma. That is not mother's decision. Mother's decision is when this is hardly affecting you or may not affect you at all, but the decision is in the overall good, in the good for many, rather than only your own desires, your own set of expectations, fulfilling your set of expectations, and maybe your own people's set of expectations. So when you should know what decisions you had, you whatever decisions you have been taking or what you had taken, you will be always rewarded or punished if you have taken such decision where you are the beneficiary, solely you are the beneficiary, your own benefits you have accounted for, or your own people's benefit you have accounted for. But if you have taken decisions or intuitively such things have come up, that even at the cost of suffering or pain to limited few whom I call my own, let's say, I am able to serve many. I'm able to serve more. I'm able to do good to many people. I don't think you will ever be punished for it. You will be ever held hostage for that decision by the cosmic forces. One example: Buddha was. Do you accept that Buddha was not only enlightened but also attained nirvana? Do you agree? Okay. Look at his personal life. He left his home while he was 26 or 29-year-old and left behind his wife and almost newly born son. Did he or did he not? How can such a person become enlightened and become attain nirvana? Why should he not come back and suffer the decisions taken in that night? Why that did not trap Buddha or Siddhartha Gautam in attaining, became a bondage in attaining, or became an obstacle in attaining the nirvana? Why? Because you see, his desire was purely concerning whatever is the basic. Basic is what I am here for. What is this life? This is a pertinent question. Everybody should ask. His question was this. He attained it. He not only attained it, but he also helped many to decode that question, come out of that confusion or query. That query was resolved for many, not one. So if you are working on basic problems and you are ignoring certain things, I can tell you, you will be forgiven for that. And I can tell you, not one, but many and many and many, almost 80 to 90% of people who are engaged in research and finding out something new, let's say even in the material world, you would find them ignoring their so-called their own people, so-called their own responsibilities they would be falling short of. But look at the bigger picture, what they attain and what they lose, how much good karma they attain, even if they, let's say, they will come back to the karmic cycle. They have not attained nirvana, by the way, but what they have done, they have done good to the world by their inventions, by their researchers. So while when you weigh these two, and how much suffering he created and how much good he has created in this world, you would find that it the good outweighs the bad, or whatever you may feel that it is not good, it is not apt. Even in our world, your own judgment about such people will be skewed. Why? Because the good done by them outweighs the little what they have not done. So that way, when you are working for the larger good, that kind of a decision is definitely the mother's decision. Now to the first question. The first question is, the God helps those who help themselves. You can't but help yourself. You always live that way. God helps those who help themselves. We help ourselves always, as much as capacity we have. How many of you are not eating your own food? You're eating your own food. You're chewing your own food. If you don't chew your food, God cannot help you assimilate the energy which the food contains. This rule continues to work at the minutest level. Now comes to the level of aspirations and driving good projects and defining your own life, or maybe the life of people around you, or maybe life of the nation you are living in general. Then of course your effort has to match your expectation. Effort has to match your aspiration, and it will. God helps those who help themselves. Yes, true. Now helping yourself means what? That you should not sit idle. You should create a balance in your thinking and in your action. Fair amount of action should also be done by you. You can't say that I'll continue sit idle and God will help me. Will it be possible? Then forget about God. People will not help you if you do it in the company. This rule is very obvious rule. Why should we say God will help when the world helps those who help themselves? All the natural forces help those who do a little bit, at least little bit. The energy spent in chewing the food is so meager than the energy assimilated from that food which you have chewed. Think about it. You have only done a little, this little. How much you have gotten? This big. This will continue. As a human, we are always at an advantageous position. You all know about a simple machine. That simplest machine is a lever. Lever, you all understand that lever. Lever means there is a fulcrum and there is simply a plank, or let's say a rod or something. You are always standing at the longer end, the farther end. So whatever little you move here, a larger amount of effort is always up. A larger amount of result is always available. And this is true for everyone. Now, trying to find out the divine and cosmic principle here, motherly principle here. Yes, it is motherly principle operating here. If a child is doing, making little effort to get to something, mother will help. Have you not done it? When your child was trying to reach out to a thing, maybe very high in the kept in some almirah, he was trying. You actually went there and lifted that child just to allow that child to grab that article which he or she probably was wanting it. This is motherly principle, which means you aspire, you do little, you only show your intent, but consistent, innocent, and maybe harmless, you would be helped. The mother is always at work. She is there to help us. All the elements which are surrounding us are there. They are representative of that mother. They are also doing the same thing for us. Are they not doing the same thing for us? We really don't know that how to extract oxygen from the air, but we just breathe. We don't know how to extract energy from the food. We just chew and gulp. Rest of the things, millions of the things, who is taking care of it? Mother is taking care of it. That much faith we must have. And of course, without karma, you can't live. That much karma, that much effort, that much action will always be there. Even when you say, I'm sitting idle. Even the idle person is not idle. That person is breathing, that person is digesting his food, that person is repairing everything. I mean, everything is happening. You can never sit idle. Now define your goal, and then definitely you will find that yes, you are being helped. All of us are being helped. Always. Never ever think that, no, no, I'm not that lucky. I'm not that favorite child of mother, and therefore I'm not being helped. Therefore, my aspirations are not being fulfilled. Last but not the least, you have not asked, but I'll tell you. It's okay for people who are not yet acquainted with this divine cosmic principle to do the mistake, to not follow in totality and understand this principle. Not understanding this principle, you may overexert, you may insist, you may become stubborn. No, 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 I want this only. In my lifetime, I will definitely attain this. That may be the case for people who don't understand the cosmic principle and this chakra view, this matrix where we are held up, by the way. And if you don't understand the cosmic principles operating, then you may, and many people we see that they are, no, no, mujhe yahi chahiye, come what may, I mean, whole of their life they spend chasing one goal and they never succeed. Have you ever met such people? You must have. Why they are doing it? Because they have not understood the cosmic principle. Their ignorance is okay. Because okay means their ignorance is driving them to do such things whole their life, spend their life chasing one thing and then not getting it, let's say. And instead, they should change the goalpost, I would say. But they don't. They insist that this is what I want in my life. Maybe there is some lesson for them to learn. Some people are like that. And whenever we approach sadhana with very, very, focused, but we want to attain something very tangible and clearly defined. This is what I want from my sadhana. Some people approach sadhana that way also. And that may be subtle also, maybe a undercurrent also. Because spirituality becomes a way of fulfilling all your desires in the beginning. People come to spirituality only to fulfill their desires. They tried it through other modes, they did not get there, and then they thought, okay, I will go by this route now. This is the best probably. It has come to my notice now. Oh, these are the principles here. The goddess is at our service here. So it's better, it's good, it's the best one. So they would start keeping something in their mind. Yeah, this is what I want in my life. If you have understood the principles here rightly, you would know you really don't need anything to be blissful. Anything, I can tell you, anything means anything. You don't need even this body. Rather, you are suffering only when you are identified with this body, when you carry this body. Otherwise, there is no suffering. Think of that state when you're in deep sleep. Do you carry your body in deep sleep? You don't. Are you identified with your body? No. And that's the place where you're rested most, you're most blissful. No worry, no pain, no suffering can touch you there. And that happens when you're not identified with body. So rather, body becomes an obstacle in experiencing your bliss. And what all these methods of samadhi and dhyan in the system of yoga, they are doing. Think of that person who is in samadhi. Do you think he is aware of his body? First, he is not aware of the world. Second, he is not aware of the body. Then what he is aware of? You must ask. Nothing in particular. He is just aware. Aware of the awareness that he is. That's it. And for that you have to go to samadhi? No. Even now, in this moment, you are aware of your awareness. But the problem is you are parallelly aware of 1,000 things. 1,000 things more than that. Right? And out of our habit, we are more interested in whatever we are aware of other than ourselves. Being is bliss. Just being. Even being aware of anything is not. Being is bliss. You don't need anything. You don't need anyone, by the way. Although that's the highest probably state where you can. But you can apply that in your life, even at different levels also. One example. See, most of us are aware of who we are, most of the times. And that decides, that governs how we walk, how we talk, how we dress, how we carry ourselves, how much tightness we carry in this area, the neck region. However, where our chin is placed, that defines. Our own definitions of who we are decide so many things. But think of a moment or think of an occasion where you are somehow. First, if you are aware of who you are, two things you can't do. One, I'm giving perfect things which you will not be able to do. Maybe there are many more things, but two things you can't do. One, you can't play. Second, you can't dance. You'll not be able to play and not be able to dance. Being playful, that means you'll have to drop being who you are. You have to just become a player. Suppose I ask you, chalo gilli danda khelte. About the CEO of a company, Rashtrapati, Uparashtrapati, Vice President, these people will play gilli danda with me. Unless they forget, unless they denounce that identity, that I am so and so, they will not be able to play. So being playful is not possible without dropping your self-definitions, or at least letting loose. Second, dance. Dancing is also not possible till the time, and that is why it's difficult. It's very difficult for the self-aware self, so I'm such and such person. Such people can't dance. Only exception is where their own opinion about themselves is that I'm a dancer, I'm a good dancer. Otherwise, not possible. Now, for them, the dance is not a way of dropping their identity. Rather, for such people, the dancing is only crystallizing their identity, making it more prominent. So, when a dancer dances, for him, it is an ego trip. When an ordinary person or vice president of a company, or let's say a chowkidar of a company dances, for him it's dropping the whatever identity he has. For such a person who is dancing, dropping the identity, he will be relaxed then to the whole job of whole act or event of dancing will elevate him, will keep him off the burdens, off the worries, off the nitty-gritties. But if you are approaching this task of dancing, make it a task. Then you're all the time you're worried, whether my movements are fine, whether my gestures are fine. That has become a task. Understand? So even in your day to day, when you are able to drop your identity, which means being less as self in this world, lesser amount of self, when you operate from that, you enjoy your life, you become burden free. So we must keep that too in mind.
But I just had one small confusion. Actually, many times I have heard, at different places that even our actions that we do willingly, they are somehow predestined or predetermined. So how do we solve this kind of an anathema? Because ultimately, you said just now that the things that we do knowingly for our benefit, we are responsible for that. But if they are predestined, so how do we negotiate with these two contrary approaches?
The same way as we negotiate in this material world, fully recognizing the Newtonian physics and quantum physics, the laws of Newtonian physics and laws of quantum physics, both are true. In Newtonian physics, there is sense of doing. In quantum, there is sense of happening. At quantum level, things are happening. They're not being done. They're just happening. That is where you don't understand. If you live by that recognition that things are just happening, you have already transcended the Newtonian physics. But wherever you need to do things, you'll have to follow Newtonian physics only, by the way. Predestined means, yes, everything is predestined. Even if it doesn't make any sense, it definitely gives you some food for thought. Yes. Think about it. Think about it. Quantum world is just happening. We are aware of the laws. We have started becoming aware rather. But Newtonian world is where doership is there. You do and there is certain result. That is also true. Now, which one to follow? Of course, in your world, in your world where doership is involved, you'll follow Newtonian. Now, if you think that there is something to attain, paradigm is important. If you think there is something to attain, then you'll have to do actions following Newtonian laws. That means you will follow the laws of actions. Then the law of predestiny is gone, because you have come in the way of happening. If you have come in the way of happening, now it's your job. So let's move to predestined. Yes, everything is predestined, by the way. Okay, you being here is also predestined. You asking this question is also predestined. But do you feel so? No. Nobody has seen any quanta. Okay, let's go there. Let's find out. Have you seen quanta? Even the quantum physicists have seen quanta. No. Have they understood what quanta is? Do they really know what the shape is, what the size is, or what the color is? Hardly no. Or hardly yes. Hardly yes. They are just guessing. This is how it should be. This is how it probably. This is how. And things which is never seen, which is not in the visible realm, if you even assume that it would look like that, it's just assumption. For example, all of you have, if you have read some science, then you would have at least this much basic science everybody should read, should study. And I know all of you have done it. Basically, you see, in our atomic structure, when we were taught atomic structure, there were many theories given, Bohr's theory, this theory, that theory, and finally, when we went to understand the chemistry part, the chemistry thing, then we started seeing these kind of dumbbell kind of shapes given to the understanding that these are the places where an electron is mostly available, and we call them that these are the S, P, D, F. The shapes were also defined. Tell me, if you don't know, it is never visible. You have created a shape and you think that it exists. It exists. A dumbbell shape exists. So what you are doing now, the big message is, even when we are not able to see a thing and we see some results based on whatever is happening behind the scene, we try to assume or we try to postulate based on whatever we know, whatever is in our experiential domain. We have not seen quanta, we don't know what the shape is, but dumbbell and these things are in our knowing. That is fully in our knowledge. So we start using them. Now, in the same way, we don't know who Devi is, okay, how she works, what is her shape, what is her color of the skin, is she really a human looking figure? But we start doing that. We create a shape, we create a human figure, we start decorating her with so many things, and then we say, these things are for that. These things correspond to that. This is how we define. This is the symbology of the deities. Similar things, as I said, in the quantum physics, things are happening. You define shapes and you define many things and come back to our, you transport that knowledge which was not in the visible audible domain to the visible audible domain by giving some representation. In the same way, the gods and goddesses and their aspects are not in the visible domain. You create a figure to put that in visible, audible, understandable domain, or else we will never be able to understand. Finally, before we further discuss this shloka, the journey of a sadhak on the path of sadhana is always full of surprises. And if it moves the way you wanted, if things happen around you and somewhat you know that these things are good for me and these things indicate that I'm progressing, etc., then good. But that does not happen always. And there is a message here. Again, go back to the Pratham Koti Diksha one, and where the things happen the way you like, the way you want. It's very good. If they don't happen, then the best. Okay. And in such cases, many a times when things don't happen the way we want, and there are very subtle desires, we are not aware of it. What are we wanting from our spiritual system? Spiritual sadhana, spiritual practices. If you are free of all the desires, you can vouch for it. If you have understood that, then definitely you can say, I don't have any desires, and therefore whatever is happening purely because the divine force is against me or for me. But are we desire-free creatures as of now? Are we? Do not think that we are free of the hidden agendas in our life. We have. We also have so many other things which we insist that others should reflect upon, and maybe they act as per our wish. Maybe, and there are very subtle things. Sometimes we are only demanding. Some people are so subtly trapped. They would say, I don't want money. I'm not greedy. Okay. I'm not greedy. I don't want money. I'm not having any sort of moh mamata. Okay. I can leave anyone any day. Nobody binds me. No relationships are binding upon me. Okay. Okay. But I mean, I'm just given two things. There are so many. The list is endless. You may say so many things about yourself, and you may feel that way, and they'll be true, kind of true. Yet, there would be many subtle desires, very subtle, and you will be probably justified in asking those things from the world in your own way. I'm not saying that they are. For example, some people are, and most of us, I'll not say some, those who have risen over these little things, greed, this, and karma, relationship, mamata, and everything, the last thing which remains is, मुझे इज्जत मिलनी चाहिए. I must be respected. And if you are a little deeper in this in this desire, then you would say, not only respected, people should also show it to me. Not that I should be respected. If people respect me, it's okay, but they are not showing it to me. They must show it to me. They must show the respect they have in their hearts to me. Sometimes people have this desire that people should call them good. Such a subtle desire, but a big spoiler. It can take away your peace of mind. It can fill you with lot of anger, resentment, and negativity. Rather, you may find yourself in a situation where you see, oh, nobody respects me. Nobody recognizes what I'm doing for them. Nobody has ever said good words about me. And all these desires, all these expectations are relative. Relative, right? Why relative? Because you expect them from relatives only. Or related. You may be okay with someone who is not so well known to you. Comes by, crosses your car, abuses you, and goes off, let's say. You'll be okay. You'll be able to forget. Why? Because he is not related to you. And that will not affect you. And this is how the world is. Sara philosophy aa jayega. And you'll be able to drop it so easily. It will never haunt you all through life. Mere saath na, I can't, forget that moment somebody passed by my car and I don't know what wrong he saw in my driving and he just abused or he showed me the middle finger and he went away. I can't forgive. It's not. You will be able to do. You'll be able to forget. You'll be able to win over this event so easily. But suppose this is done by someone whom you know. Okay. Think of it. Suppose, forget about it. Someone who you think is related to you, not only know. Now come closer. Someone whom you think you are attending to, serving, taking care of. Will you still be able to take it the way you are able to take that event, the first event I just described? No. Not possible. Why? Because there is this undercurrent. I am good. I am good. I am good. World does not know, but my people should know that I am good. They should not only know, they should also show. Third, they should never say otherwise. If they say I'm not good, that's the biggest problem. They may not They may not say I'm good. Okay, I'm okay with that. But why should they say that I'm not good? Are we really able to forgive such events? If such things are filling your life, populating your experiences, you should again go back to yourself. Find out. Is it your desire to be praised? Is it your desire to really, are you really not respecting the general common rules? Are you wise enough when you are expecting these things? If you expect others to say good things about you and never say a bad thing about you, suppose you expect your people, your own people, should say good things about you and should never say bad things about you. What does that mean? For a learned people like you, what you know? That the mind gives us all the contrary thoughts. Mind is such a machine which creates polar opposite thoughts. Everybody's mind, by the way. Don't think that if you are a sadhak, your mind will never give you polar opposite thoughts. Mind is a machine which is designed and destined to do that. It will give you polar opposite thoughts. Don't think that वो साधु संन्यासियों के मन में कभी नहीं आता है ऐसा. Don't live in this impression that ये polar opposites come only in ordinary people. Extraordinary people never have polar opposite thoughts. No, that is not true. Even the best of the best person's mind will give that kind of idea. If it doesn't do that job, mind is not mind. Mind is not doing its job there. What is happening here? While you are also having polar opposite thought, are you not having?
Acharya Ji, what are exactly polar opposite thoughts?
Polar opposite thought, I'll tell you. This person is good, but your mind will say, but this person is not good. I have seen many times this person not being good. Okay. This person is enlightened. I don't think it is he is enlightened. This person is not selfish. No, I think he is selfish. Continuously, these things will come. Anybody's mind, these things will come. Don't think that. Now the problem is, while we know that our mind is going to do that only, don't think that mind will not give these kind of ideas in a given situation. If mind is not doing that, it is not mind at all. A functional mind should give you polar opposite ideas. Should give you, rather it gives. What is the problem? The problem is that even after recognizing that my own mind gives me polar opposite ideas, I am expecting the others to not have it. Number one. Second problem, which is a problem of which is a little bit glitch. Everybody's machine is not perfect. Somewhere some barriers, some gates, they get open. Now that may happen that for you are able to keep your mouth shut and not utter the negative ideas which are coming to your mind. But with the other persons, there is a glitch. Even the negative idea comes out of his mouth. Now tell me, should you be full of anger for such a person from whose mouth such negative things come? No, really not. Why? Because he is suffering a glitch. He is suffering a lacuna in his system. He is not able to keep the mouth shut when he is or she is supposed to. What should be our attitude? Of mercy, of forgiveness, of prayers. For what? Such a person suffers. not from you only. Such a person who is not able to keep his mouth shut when it is supposed to, what will happen? That such a person will suffer. Because by saying negative things, you cannot create positive environment around. By uttering negative things, I'm saying. I'm not saying by not having negative things in mind, because negative and positive, both polar opposites, are going to come to your mind. Now it's your discretion, power of discretion, parallel to the power of expression. In parallel, power of expression. If they start malfunctioning, if you're not able to decide that such a thing, such a thought, I should not express. Not every thought needs to be expressed. Do you think all your thoughts can be expressed? All your thoughts. And I can tell you, all your thoughts about the person whom you revere the most in the world, you can't express. You should not. Who decides? Your intellect decides. If you are not using, or if you are not stabilized in your intellect, never able to gaze the impact of whatever you have said, because you have become kind of numb to the people around. Is it the problem with you who is suffering the brunt of such expressions? No. The problem with the person. If you are expressing negative things, it means it has more value than the positive thoughts. Your intellect is giving more value to this. That is why it is getting expressed. So what should be worked on? Your intellect should be worked on. And the guiding principle you all know, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. So speaking is an action. And any action, for any activity, you must have training. If you have not been trained, or if you have not self-trained, you would do this mistake. You would suffer the problem of saying bad things. And who will suffer? You will suffer. Others will suffer, that's okay. You will also suffer. And then if we are approaching sadhana with some fixed objectives in mind, then we may be disappointed. And what the sadhana has promised, the ultimate result of the sadhana, what it has promised. It says it is praptasya prapti. You would receive which you already have. That's the outcome of sadhana. So if you are doing sadhana to receive anything, wrong direction you are moving. Rather, the sadhana means discovering what I already have. Because sadhana, the ultimate goal of the sadhana is that. To give you, to reveal to you, to give you the experience of what you already have. And masters have told us, scriptures tell us, that is the most precious experience of human life. To come to face with that what we have, that which is independent of the world, that which is free of all duality, that which no one can take away from us. That is the experience which sadhana promises. So where is the domain of negativity? Nothing. Only it is in your own expectations. A relaxed person can never be negative. Only a tense person can become negative. Then find out what you're tense about. And are you trying to solve it using sadhana? Or it is just an intelligent thing to do? Some intelligent action you need to take, some intelligent actions, or maybe some intelligent thinking you have to do. Only intelligent thinking you have to do to come out of that. That is what you should weigh. What is needed? Intelligent action or intelligent thinking? And I can tell you, intelligent thinking outweighs intelligent doing. So only thing which we can do to come out of any negative cycle or negativity is intelligent thinking. Less of doing, more of thinking. That is the way to come out of any negativity. But think intelligently. keeping all the basics clear. What is it? That mind is the seat where polar opposites are created, and these things, that mind, intellect, and the capacity to vocalize your thought, is a part of a machine. You can't say that your Chaitanyam owns it up. Chaitanyam only witnesses it. So these things are sorted out within themselves. The mind and intellect will sort them out for you, who is just witnessing it. You can't do anything about it. You have to train your intellect. That's the only thing. Your intelligence will solve the problem of the world. Nothing else can do it. Recognize this. Mukham bindum kritva kuchayugamadhastasya tadadho hakarardham dhyayet tharamahishite manmathakalam sasadya sankshobham nayati vanita ityati lagu trlokimapyashu brahmayati ravindustana yugam. This is the shloka. This is talking of a dharana. This shloka is giving you a way of contemplation, how a particular objective can be obtained using this kind of dharana. Such a person who meditates upon Devi, keeping the bindu as her face and the down below two triangles as her breasts. Below that, there is this hakarardha, which is a bijakshara. Without even this, you can always say that there is one element which is known as Kamakala, Manmath Kalam, which is presented here. Okay, Manmath is also Kama. You all know Kamakala is a particular bija. Now, Kamakala is a bija which is to be contemplated over in this way. So how you visualize this? You visualize Devi as a bindu. The face is the bindu. The lower two triangles are her breasts, and below that is Kamakala. Kamakala means the seed of the desire. I don't want to give you the bijakshar here, and therefore I would give you certain other understanding about this Kamakala. Bijakshar I am not going to give you here. What is bijakshar? Although internet will tell you what is Kamakala. You can search and you'll find. But I am not giving you that visualization here. Because that particular mantra you are not initiated in. Therefore you will not use it. So what do I do then? How do I use this dharana? How do I contemplate over this Swarupa of Devi? So for that, you come back to your visualization scenario where in Shri Yantra there is a bindu in the middle. That bindu is to be taken as Devi's face. And then below there are two triangles just below that bindu. You would see those two triangles are to be taken as Devi's breast. Below that, whatever you see, take that as Kamakala. There is a lot of other things have, lot of other triangles. Ultimately, we have under Chatushchatvarincha, 44 triangles. So there are so many triangles around. But we are interested in only in triangles which are coming vertically down, looking vertically down from that bindu downwards. As you travel, you will find whatever sequence of triangles you get, you take that as Kamakala. This has a higher meaning. It's not only that Devi should be taken as this, bindu should be taken as Mukham, and then the breasts are those two triangles, and then further down is Kamakala. This is the progression of our own system, how we progress, how we go deeper into any being. Suppose, as a male, how do you look at a woman? First point of attraction is face. And as face means, your first interaction would be talking, chatting. You can't go beyond that. The second interaction, probably if you become more intimate, maybe closeness to and more amount of love flowing through you, more emotional connect, more heart to heart talks, which means again below these two breasts. Now, even if you're connected even more deeper, then you would get there where from every possibility of procreation is given, that the yoni. This is how we operate in this physical world. Is it understandable? First, the visible aspect. Second, the emotional aspect. Third, the the cosmic principle which is operating through that being. You see, procreation and karma is not a thing which you can create. This karma or procreative principle is, by the way, cosmic design. It's not you who has created karma. It's not you. Please recognize this. Which means karma means desiring, whereas Kamakala means the seed for everything which is coming out of the Devi's womb. Now, we need to look at our journey here. We need to find out how we are going to connect with Devi. First is those who said, I want to learn Soundarya Lahari to fulfill my desires. Okay, let's see to this visualization and get deeper into the understanding here. First, are you in love with the visible aspect of Devi? Are you fascinated by her presence around? Which means visible means tangible. Don't think visible means only visible. Tangible aspect of this cosmic play which is happening around, which is the cosmic body of Devi. Are you really are you finding it attractive enough? Are you enticed enough? Is this world itself, whatever be your experience through these senses, which means visible, even for that matter, our Devis and our divine deities have at times not being depicted as wearing even the upper garments. That means their emotional connect is also open to all of us. Going deeper, even you would find that Devi has also been depicted nude, which means the procreative principle of the cosmic principle of creation is also well approachable for each one of us. That's the symbology. You don't have to look at that way. When look at a human figure there and start making out what is it. These are the three levels of our connect with the divine principle. So the first level itself you are not attracted to in day-to-day operation. If you are not attracted to a person's expressed attributes, you will never get connected to the emotional attribute. Will you? Think of it. So if you are not in love with the Devi, which is the express part of it, the whole cosmic creation which is around us is express part of Devi. Are we really enticed by that? Are we really see Devi's face in each one of our experiences? Are we able to see divinity in this tangible world? और वी आर स्टिल नहीं, ये आदमी ठीक बात नहीं करता, इसमें तो देवी नहीं है, ये तो यहाँ पर डिस्ट्रक्शन हो रहा है, यहाँ देवी नहीं है, यहाँ पर वायलेंस है, यहाँ देवी नहीं है, यहाँ तालियां बज रही हैं, यहाँ देवी है, यहाँ फूल चढ़े हैं, यहाँ देवी है, यहाँ कांटे हैं, यहाँ देवी नहीं. जिसके साथ हमारा कनेक्ट होता है, जिसके साथ तरफ हम अट्रैक्ट होते हैं, आवर प्रेरोगेटिव टू omit, ignore whatever we don't like, incumbent upon us. Otherwise you can't. I'll give you the example. You can fall in love with the most beautiful woman in this world or most beautiful man in this world. Look at his face now. I can tell you, you will ignore so many things, then only you can say, I love that person's face. You'll have to ignore that occasionally he will sneeze, occasionally he will also catch cold, and then there will be a lot of Ganga Yamuna coming out of these nostrils. Accept it, ignored. And if I sleep with him or sleep with her, Next morning, if he doesn't or she doesn't brush his teeth, bad smell will come out. If she doesn't wash her face, it will always, find so many things, sticking around, not looking good. But you still say, I love the most beautiful person on this planet Earth. Is she or he always so beautiful or handsome? On whatever way you take it. Is it? No. It's your own way to look at that person, to say that I am in love with the most beautiful person. Is it not your imagination over the reality which you are experiencing? Is it not your bhava, which means now you have moved little below? I can tell you, if you're only connected at that level of face with someone, you will definitely find out these mistakes. You will not avoid a person who is not well dressed, who is not smelling good, if you have taken that person as a commodity and at your service. Will you? No. But if you are in love and emotional connect with a person, even you will be able to ignore so many things which are a visible aspect and so-called not so beautiful aspect, not so healthy aspect of that person. Even those things you will ignore. If you have hired a receptionist, let's say, only to boost your image of your office, let's say, what you're interested in. He should be good looking all the time. You don't have any emotional connect with that lady. But can you expect the same thing from your mother? Do you expect the same thing from your mother? That she should always look good? She should always be well dressed? She should always have all the makeup on her face? Do you expect the same thing from your husband, wife, children, and what not? Mother, father, anybody? Do you? No. Which means, even in the visible aspects, if there are things which you are maybe which don't fall in the category of good in your own definition, even if they are present, that person is dear to you, that person is lovable. I'll give you one example and understand. The people go to beaches and they say, I love beaches, I love lakes, and I love water bodies. Good. Now take them there, and when they reside in that place, they'll say, अरे यार यहाँ पे वाटर का स्मेल आता है. माउंटेन्स अच्छा लगता है, बट माउंटेन्स की ठंड नहीं अच्छी लगती. लुक एट इट. सो व्हाट डज दैट मीन? जब हमें जो चीज पहले नजर में अच्छी लगती है वो अच्छी लगती है. And now if we want to enjoy the mountains, then we will take care of how to deal with the cold weather and what not. Then only we'll be able to enjoy and connect. In the same way, when we fall in love with this cosmic presence, cosmic Devi, then whatever is there, we'll have to learn how to deal with it. First thing. So the one who is able to do that accepts the creation, the visible aspect of this creation. I mean, whatever good or bad. I mean, it's good. There's nothing good, nothing bad happening. Somebody is good, is somebody is bad. Yes, that is how it goes. So nothing good, absolute good you can't find. Absolute bad you can't find. Everything is relative. So there is nothing good, nothing bad. Lot of violence happening. You may like jungle, you may like a lion, you may also like a rabbit, but you may not like lion eating rabbit in front of maybe, which is the law. You may like a deer, you may like a lion, but lion eating the deer you may not like, but that happens. You'll have to accept it. Look at it. So the world is first place of enticement. Getting amazed by the beauty of the world first. But when you go deeper, you find, no, there are so many things which are not, I may not like, which I may not accept. How will you accept? Let's say, whatever it be, I still love the world I live in. So the second aspect of connecting with Devi is this. Whatever it be, whatever kind of people I am surrounded with, whether they are good or bad, whether they are bad mouth or always full of praise for me, whether they cheat me or whether they help me, I am okay with that. I am still in love with the world I live. If you have done this, that means you have come to the level of breasts here. Otherwise, not possible. Once you have been able to stabilize yourself here, then the possibility is open. Then the Kamakala is active. Otherwise not. If you have if you have taken both the aspects, fully cognizing both the aspects, good or bad, beautiful or ugly, full of peace or full of violence, birth and death, both you have accepted, then only there is a possibility of emotional connect. Once that emotional connect has happened, then only in this totality you can create something new. You can fulfill your desires. You can create what you want. That's the subtle message here. If you have understood this message, then you need not go to Soundarya Lahari or visualize all these triangles and Mukham Bindum Kritva and no. Practical aspect. I'll give you another example and then I'll close. You come up with an employee who is very good, is a very nice programmer, let's say. But one thing is one problem. He smokes a lot. And he demands that he will be smoking while he'll be programming. What will you? World's best programmer. But your office rules don't allow that somebody in the office should smoke. What you will do? I can tell you what you will do. If you are really keen on growing your business and you want to be the top on the top notch and always remain, you will create a special praise for him. That okay, you work here, I'll give freedom to you that you smoke here, but work. Have you not accepted the both? When the best comes to you, is this world Devi's second great creation, do you think? The people around you are second great creation of Devi. Why should you be in any case filled with any side of contempt or condemnation for them? Why should we? This is first great creation of Devi. First great. And we should be completely in acceptance with this fact. Fully cognizing this is Devi's creation. And how can she do something which is not supposed to be done? Everything she does, she knows why it should be done, when it should be done, where it should be done, and how much it should be done. Are we in any capacity to judge this creation? No. And if you have accepted this principle and have started taking people as they are, started taking the world as it exists today, as it exists now, then only, even in material world, you will be able to produce anything. Then only any new possibility can be created. The same goes true here. Even if you have considered Devi to be a divine being, divine cosmic force, who is supervising everything happening in this world, and by the way, she is also your mother, and therefore you can connect with her, then you'll have to also connect with all the daily things, whatever daily routine she is following, you'll have to bear with that. So sometimes she will be available, sometimes she will not be available, sometimes she will listen to, sometimes she will be attending to the father, your father, by the way. A mother is like that. Accept that. So in such a state, if you have accepted Devi as a cosmic lady, cosmic being, the goddess of the three worlds, such a Devi is to be really revered for that. Accepted like that. That at times she will listen to me, at times she will not listen to me. If you accepted Devi like that. And if you think, if you are a much deeper you've gotten much deeper understanding of your Devi, then you will say, I, the consciousness Chaitanya is Shiva. My all powers and my all capacities are Shakti. And all the activities which are happening around me, the consciousness, I can't say all are good or all are bad. Look at your own body. The body is housing a brain which is capable of doing so many good things, but it also houses all, it also has the place for all the, urine and whatnot. Can you say everything is good in your being? Is your Chaitanyam supporting only good? The same way, the world. But if you accept your body as it is, then only. Nahi to, you'll say, how can I act? There is always 300 grams of shit in me. How can I liberate? How can I meditate? How can I work? How can I love? How can I, be compassionate? 300 grams of shit is always in me. Which means accepting things as they are, good or bad. Once you accept your being as it is, you can operate in this world. Once you accept the world as it is, you can operate in this world. Once you accept yourself as you are, good or bad, you can operate in this world and create some new possibility. If you become obsessed with good or bad, any of these, you have lost the plot. If you want to create only goodness in this world, you have already lost the plot. Nobody in this world has been able to create such a world order that lions will not eat deers or rabbits. Not possible. That people will be only born, they will not die. That the dead bodies will not rot. No, never such a world has been created. You can't. That there will be people, all the people will speak good things. All the people will do bhakti and puja. Nobody would kill anybody else. Nobody will abuse anybody else. There will be no violence. Forget about it. You live in this creation and you have to accept it. Once you accept it, then only you can create possibilities for you. Understood that the subtle principle, applied principle of this shloka. Now, the divine principle which is working in mantras, of course, you work on it. You work on it. You chant the shloka. And it's a tough sadhana, by the way. 1,000 shlokas per day to 3,000 shlokas per day is what you have to chant. But that chant, without having accepted Devi, without having an emotional connect with Devi, is not going to activate. Finally, at the end, just to conclude, Mukham Bindum Kritva is this way you have to take it. Expressed, then subtle, then you have access to the storehouse of all the possibilities. तो आज के लिए इतना ही.
Thank you. Shivoham.